Hello, beautiful humans, live from both sides of the United States. It's Monday Night Muses. I have a very special guest this evening who you might recognize from previous broadcasts, both on the screen and in the chat. It is time for Diggy Kat, meow meow, Monday Night Muses. With Diggy Kat, meow meow. Diggy Kat has a very special occasion planned for us tonight. Diggy Kat is not just going to be singing to us, which is the usual thing, nor is he even going to be sharing with us amazing moments from history with lesser-known presidents. No. Well, maybe he will do both of those things, but Diggy Kat's prime intent is going to be to share his kitty cat origin story this evening. And there's a little bit of an AMA vibe here. There's an Ask Me Anything situation with Diggy Kat. Anything you have always wanted to ask Diggy Kat, you can put it into the comments. Anything you have always wanted to ask anyone, really, put it into the comments. Wouldn't you like Diggy Kat to answer that? I would.
Yep.
So I'm going to get out of the way and let Diggy Kat proceed. And by the way, I started this Ask Me Anything vibe because Diggy Kat was like, I don't know, what should I do? Maybe I should change it up. And I was like, I want to hear about origin stories for your cats. I want to know. And he was like, okay, I will. Which is like, I love when that happens. All right, so feline origins. Farewell.
Thank you, Rory. Good evening, guten Abend, dobry wieczór, buenas noches. That was a song called Believe It and You Will Hear It. For my next number, I was astral traveling to Malta, and it was the inspiration for it. I hope you enjoy. That was called Happy Here in Luxembourg. My name is Diggy Kat, also known as Diggy Kat in Frankreich. Aber ich bin ein Katze aus Amerika, nicht Frankreich. I was born in the early 80s, 1680s, in a little-known town in the east-west corner called Nottinghamshire Burr, Appleisburg, Ford, Worthstead, Sistertonville. It's very nice there. Very, very nice. I am a Gemini with a Cancer rising and an Aquarius moon. My Chinese zodiac is a rooster. The element is metal. Yes, indeed, I am a metal cock, also known as being born in the year of the Steely Dan. I have a band called Vuff Cup. We have a variety of music, none of which you will hear tonight. Plenty of songs, plenty of songs, none of which I will be performing. But you can imagine what they sound like. Absolutely. Bianca's in the band with me. And then I've also been busy this year producing, co-producing, performing on other people's albums and stuff like that. Yes, the Steely Dan year was a rough one. So much thievery, yes. I would not do it again. That was not a year I was reeling in. I didn't even give Ricky my number. Elder Carreño had their album out July 30th called Sticky Notes, and I co-produced that along with some appearances by myself and Bianca and Ayla Faye and Lucky Lamond. I see Kayla Ludia's here. Hello, bestie. How are you doing? Ariel Carreño's album came out July 30th. I've also been working on Ayla Faye's EP that's going to be coming out in late January. We have a title for it, but it's not public yet, so I'm not at liberty to say. But we have a whole slew of guests on there, as well as Lucky Lamond's debut album called Carry Them All that will be out February 4th, with more slew of great contributors and artists on that too. So make sure that you go check all of that out. Ariel Carreño, Ayla Faye, Lucky Lamond, or you can also just go to, if you're on Facebook, facebook.com/streamteamhq for headquarters. And you can be kept up to date with everywhere there. Vuff Cup is also every place We are on all the usual spots like Rizzle and TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram and Tinder and wait, one of those I don't think we're on anymore, but I don't remember which one. I would have to go look. But we're all on that. Rizzle, yes, Rizzle is like TikTok. It's similar to TikTok, and it is like 15 to 20-second videos that you can post on there. So Rough Cup's on there. We haven't done anything for a while, but we are on there, and we have a fair amount of videos on. It's an app that you can get. I am also a radio DJ as well. I host on Radio KSCR and Shack Radio, Punk Rock Demonstration, and Ripper Radio. I'm also the co-founder of Lucky Star Radio as well. Let me see here. So many things I want to talk about. I think the first thing I want to go over is my New Year's resolution because we're getting close. Some people have New Year's resolutions. Some people don't. Some people have them and then don't abide by them. But I tell you this, friends. I have a New Year's resolution and I've been wanting to do it for quite some time. The commitment has been an issue and you'll know why. So I need to be held accountable. You know, I'm at that point where I want to be held accountable for 2022. So I'm going to share with you my New Year's resolution. It's pretty simple, honestly. It's basically kind of in a nutshell, like the overall condensed version of it is mainly a summary because I made a plan for a firm decision to intently aim for this commitment that I pledged to promise. And even though I have a year to accomplish it, I would like to fulfill it within the first 360 days of 2022. So thank you. Thank you for holding me with that, for the commitment. More about me. I have finally ventured in to writing books, family books, children's books, to be honest, children's books. And I added exotic pets as well. I think it's fantastic for youngins to learn about exotic pets, how they can interact with the family. My first publication, self-publication, is coming out. I'm extremely excited. It's a 50-page book with 72 font size. And it's called Who Hugs Better? A Tale of My Deceased Wife and Pet Boa Constrictor. Make sure that you pick it up at Christmas time so you can read it to the little tots before bed. It's a lovely story. Speaking of hedgehogs, Rory had asked me about my cat background. Wow, my cat background. I will tell you, I came from a dog family. A long line of dogs. Yes, I grew up with a dog. I didn't like it. I didn't realize growing up like there was another option. I heard about cats, but I wasn't familiar with cats. And of what I had heard, cats were all attacking, stuff like that, because I came from a dog. So I thought, oh, cats, they must not be cool. And so it was when I was young. I was 12 years old at the time, and a neighborhood cat befriended. Yes, cat facts are the coolest. And his name was Fuzzbucket. And I have a picture right here of Fuzzbucket. That's him. He was a Gemini. We were kids when we met, and we became teenagers at the same time. Supreme intelligence, Fuzzbucket had, absolutely. And so we became friends. We became very good friends. And he turned me on to different cats in the neighborhood. And I started to learn about cats through him. And so it wasn't unusual, and you can picture this in your head, please do. It wasn't unusual for me being a teenager, going on my nightly walk in the village, and I would go up the street, and I would grab Buddy, who lived just up the street from me, a couple houses. Go up the street a bit more. On the left-hand side, Bat Cat would be hanging out. So Bat Cat would come with us. We'd go to the next street over, and Homie G would be hanging out waiting for us. So we pick up Homie G. And then we go further up that street, and that's where Fuzzbucket and Moose lived. And we would pick them up too. And we would go for a walk, a nighttime walk around the village. And so it was funny because I would often get looks, and I often sometimes be like, "You have 5 cats following you." Yes, I do. Yes, I do. These are my buddies. These are my homies. Yes, we do. And so that's what we would do. And then after the walk, I would drop them off at their designated places. A lot of times, Fuzzbucket would come back at home with me, and we'd hang out on the porch. And then I would deliver him back to the house, to his own home. That's actually kind of how it started. Great cats, amazing cats, very a lot of great memories with them, you know. So now with my cats, my current cats, we have Nash. They're all named after musicians, by the way. We have Nash, who is named after Graham Nash from like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. He was also with the Hollies, stuff like that. We have Danko. I should say Nash is a Pisces. He's the oldest one. He's 14. And then we have the Gemini kittens, the brothers. Oh, yes, the musicians were named after. Yes, they are. They are named after the cats. Thank you for tagging me in a post too, Rory. I appreciate that. So the kittens are Danko, named after Rick Danko from the band. Towns, named after Towns Van Zandt. And Reznor, named after Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. So there you go. Those are the kittens. They might make appearances. They're sleeping right now, as sometimes kittens do. So speaking of music, also I want to say, we're doing kind of an open Q&A as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. Music. You know, how many of you studied music theory? I studied a little bit. A while ago, I studied a little. And I found some of it fascinating, but there was a part of it that, for whatever reason, I didn't find completely relative. And I didn't know why. I really didn't know why. So I kind of chucked the book, and I thought, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm really getting what I need to get out of this. And it wasn't until later on someone had kind of opened my eyes to music theory. And it was questioning, why is American music theory based on 300-old white men from Europe? Why is this American music theory? We've progressed a little bit since then, I think, you know. Why is it that they're showcasing the geniuses as being white men? And again, I love classical music. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. But I found it interesting. I did find it really interesting. And then it made more sense to me why music theory wasn't really quite my thing, when like you can go over to India and they have their own type of music theory. Why isn't that included into American music theory? Why is it just based off of European music? Same way with, you know, hip hop has their own thing. Jazz has their own things as well. So I think we do at some point, music theory needs to have an upgrade, because, you know, we're going on almost 400 years learning the same thing. And there have been some people that have said, well, you know, once you learn the rules, you can break the rules. Well, why do we need rules to begin with music theory, with music? You know, should be, you know, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. You know what I mean? Oh, yes. Everyone else is wrong. Absolutely. Everyone else is wrong. So speaking of like 300-year-old music from Europe, stuff like that. I want to talk a little bit about the five. Yes, the five, the mighty five, in fact. Okay, are you guys ready? Good. I see that you're ready. Here's an interesting fact. I love classical music, but mainly only if it is Russian. I like a little bit of Mozart. I like a little bit of Beethoven, a little bit of Bach, a little bit of all them. The only ones that aren't Russian that I actually really, really like, I love to put on Joseph Haydn, who is Austrian. That's like party music for me. Frederick Chopin, who is Polish. I like putting on his music. Brilliant piano player. It's great for rain music. And then an Estonian named Arvo Part, who, bless Part's heart, he is still alive at 86. So compared to all these other people, he is very, very young. He's a baby. He invented his own type of way to do music as well. So again, why not include what Arvo Part is doing in today's music theory? It's very interesting. The Five. Oh, the Five. 1 second. The Mighty Five are Russian. And it was their leader, Malai Balakirov. And now I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways. I don't know if it's also having to do with probably accents and stuff like that. Balakirov. There was also Alexander Bordin. There was Caesar Kui. There was Modest Mussorgsky. And there was also Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. There was an 11-year difference with Borodin being the oldest and Rimsky-Korsakov being the youngest. And 3 of them were army officers. So you actually had Rimsky-Korsakov and Mussorgsky. That's how they met. They were in the army. Because that's what you do in Russia. You know, when you're around, 11, 12, they send you off to be an officer. That's what happens. That's your future. It's laid out for you. Don't worry, kids. Enjoy childhood. Learn how to be an army officer. And then Kui was also an army officer. And he rose way up in the ranks. He actually ended up becoming a general much later on. A lot of times he is pictured wearing his uniform. In fact, you know what? They started roughly around like 1861, and they went for about a good 20 years. Got something to show y'all. Can I do it this way? Oh, that way. The Five. Mili Balakirov, the leader. He's a Capricorn. Got Caesar Kui, who's also a Capricorn. Modest Mussorgsky, who's an Aries. Rimsky-Korsakov, who's a Pisces. And Alexander Borodin, his birthday's coming up. He's a Scorpio. So, and you can see Kui is he's in the army outfit. That's his thing, man. You know, and back in the day, he was a little bit younger there. He was in his army outfit as well. Borodin's day job was a chemist. That's what he did. Balakirov, he just hung out and was the leader. That's what Balakirov did. I keep that picture up on my wall as constant inspiration. Yes, visual aids, absolutely visual aids. Yes. So you know, they were it's very interesting because when they started, they also rebelled kind of against the whole school of music, things like that, like a stiff education, formal education in music. They wanted to do things their own way. They felt that learning the rules was kind of stifling. And it's funny because when I was younger, I felt the exact same way. And this is before I even got in. And I was like, I understand where you're coming from. I feel the same way. Yes, that's the tab for. Yes. Let's see. Was this an era where being a chemist meant you got a headache, take some cocaine about it? You know, it was probably pre-cocaine, you know? He was it was interesting because as his day job as a chemist, he was very important to chemistry, and he discovered, you know, some other things. I'm not really too into chemistry, so I can't really talk too much on that. Yeah, pre-cocaine chemist. Yes, that's a band name. But it's just so funny that, you know, he the side job was music, but now today he's known as a composer as opposed as a chemist. And Balakirov was so funny because being the leader of the group, he was basically what he kind of did was just like, hey, man, that's great that you're working on chemistry stuff, but, you know, how's the opera going? You really got to work on your opera. You know, same way with the other guys. Oh, that's great that you're getting up there in the ranks with being, you know, in the army and stuff like that, an army officer, but how's that symphony going? You really got to work on your symphony. You really need to do it. Do it. They weren't friends with Tchaikovsky at first because Tchaikovsky came from a formal background. Honor your creativity, sweetie. Exactly. That's it. Valakirov was all about. He was all about honoring your creativity. That was what was important. That's what's going to leave the legacy. He knew that, and they did. They did. They absolutely did. So, yeah, they weren't friends with Tchaikovsky at first. I think it was Cooey that wrote a scathing review on one of Tchaikovsky's works. You know, because it was like, oh, yeah, formal education, whatever. Okay, some of them are critics. Balakirov was also a music critic. He was on a panel. So then Tchaikovsky, who was also a music critic, ended up writing a very good review on one of Rimsky-Korsakov's pieces. And the five went, wait, what? What? Is he, what? Because the people that were formal in music didn't really like the five because they thought that they were uneducated. The five didn't really like the people with the formal education in music because they felt that their creativity was stifled by going by the rules. It's a little bit of a war going on, you know, not a war, but you know what I mean. Building bridges. Yeah, absolutely. So then the five were like, hey, Tchaikovsky, come over here. Hang with us. They became friends with Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky had a piece of music he wasn't quite sure on at one point. He went to Balakirov, the leader of the five, and said, I need your help, man. What can I do with this to make it better? And Balakirov looked at it and was like, well, you need to do this, and you do that. Tchaikovsky took half the suggestions, performed it live, failed. Tchaikovsky went back to Balakirov. I know I keep changing his name around because of the two accents. Balakirov. Yes. Millie. We'll just call him Millie. Dear old Millie. Went back to him and said, okay, I'll change whatever you want me to change. Let's do it. And so Balakirov was like, hey, what about we base it on Romeo and Juliet? That's what we call it. Switch the key. Did everything like that. Tchaikovsky went to perform it. It raved. The crowd loved it. It was so popular, in fact, that at parties, people would ask Balakirov, when he was at a party, hey, can you play Tchaikovsky's piece on the piano? So he got to learn it by heart, you know, even though it was his arrangement, more he produced it, you know, it wasn't really his. So I always found that really interesting. When Borden and well, you know what? Let me get to this part first. Okay, Modest Mussorgsky. By the way, if I'm boring any of you, let me know, and I will continue with my chat. Read the one-liners, bro. Hi, Judith. What's up, Judith? We're talking about the Mighty Five. Okay. Modest Mussorgsky. After him and Rimsky-Korsakov got out of the army, they got a little place together. They had one piano, and it was changed to, okay, at this time, you have the piano to work on your compositions, and then at this time, I have the piano to work at these compositions. And then that's what they did. Mussorgsky was 5 years older, and people kind of wondered, why did Mussorgsky drink so much? There was a story of Rimsky-Korsakov being all dressed up, had his walking stick, he was out walking, turns a corner, and there's Mussorgsky laying in a gutter drunk. And he takes his walking stick and he pokes Mussorgsky. And he's like, what? And he goes, don't you have a symphony to complete? It was said in Russian, by the way. I don't think English. So they were wildly different, but it worked. It worked. So with Mussorgsky, again, he drank a lot. He unfortunately had drank himself to death. People wondered, why is this guy continuously drinking? Well, I'll tell you. If you come from an anti-Jewish family in the mid-1800s in Russia, and you turn out gay, and then you fall in love with a straight Jewish man, that could be why he got messed up, why he was drinking so much. Poor Mussorgsky, the dude. I wish it was a different time for him. I really do. And he was an Aries as well. That's a different story. But but yeah, Mussorgsky. The last painting that that is of Mussorgsky when he was in the hospital, he's wearing a scarf, and it was Cooey, his bandmate, made it for him, and that's what he's wearing. Borden had passed away. I'm sorry. Mussorgsky passed away first, and then the other ones had slowly passed away as well. Borodin had been buried in another graveyard, and the other members of the five were buried next to each other. And so Borodin's family said, "Hey, you know what? We need to move him. We need to move him from this graveyard. Put him with the rest of the five. He belongs there." And that's where he is now. Yeah, they're grave buddies. So Cooey was a hoot because he was a guy that again, he was a critic. He was very outspoken. He was public about what the five talked about in private, which is he was the spokesperson, basically. But because of him being so high up in as an army officer, sometimes when he would like write letters to the newspapers, what would you call them? And they're not quite news, but like articles and stuff like that. Sometimes he just didn't even sign his name because he was like, I can't get in trouble for this. I'm a professional army officer, but man, these people really are. And he sends it in. Once in a while, he'd be so mad and he would just sign his name. I don't care. He got in trouble a couple times, but yeah, he made it to general. Balakirev was also a critic as well. One time, one of Mussorgsky's operas came through, and it was ripped to shreds. Balakirev said, "Screw you guys, I'm leaving the panel." And he left the panel. Basically, you're not going to talk bad about my buddy. That's it. Once Borodin and Mussorgsky passed away, Rimsky-Korsakov and a number of his students took over to finish their work. The bits and pieces that they had, the unfinished symphonies, compositions, everything like that. Hey, Melissa, what's going on? Welcome. And so that's what Rimsky-Korsakov did. He didn't have to, but he wanted to make sure that nothing was left behind of his friends, that they still were out there. He did run into a bit of an issue when he was working on Night on Bald Mountain by Mussorgsky. He looked at it and said, wow, you know what? If I go with how Mussorgsky wants it, I don't know if it's going to be a hit. I don't know if it's going to be well received. It's very bold in some places. It's very stark in some places. And Rimsky-Korsakov said, well, either I could do that, or I could rearrange it to make it a little bit more radio friendly. That's what he did, and that's actually one of Mussorgsky's biggest pieces, even today, Night on Bald Mountain. We're almost done talking about the five. I just wanted to say that Rimsky-Korsakov, him and Tchaikovsky became really, really tight friends. Hey, my jammer, how you doing? Oh, good. We're doing Q&A. What makes you delve into music history like this? It's so rocks. Thank you, Mighty Jammer. I appreciate it. It is a need for the truth. I hunger for it. There's a deep, insatiable hunger within me to know the truth of musicians and music. That's it. Rimsky-Korsakov and Tchaikovsky became really good friends, and Rimsky-Korsakov got an offer to teach at a conservatory, doing the exact same thing that the five rebelled against. And he goes, oh my God. He was good. Rimsky-Korsakov's good, man. He's good. That's why they wanted him. So he went to Tchaikovsky and said, should I take it? Shouldn't I? Tchaikovsky said, you know what? Take it. Study everything you need to know and take it. And so then that's what he did. And he took it. When Tchaikovsky passed away, Rimsky-Korsakov was actually one of the first people there at Tchaikovsky's house, and was one of the people that actually moved Tchaikovsky from the sofa, which he passed away on, to the table. let's see. So what are some of the other things here? Breaking the glass ceiling. Yes, yes. Music history corner concepts. Excuse my finger right there. Just scrolling right there. Tell me if I can share some of this with. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, you can share it. Absolutely. In fact, you know what? Since we've been talking about Russia so much, let me get hydration checkpoints real quick. Can you believe we're already halfway through? We're already halfway through. Let's learn some words in Russian. What do you say? Okay. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I know it sounds wrong. It sounds wrong. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I have faith in you. Okay, we're going to learn 5 words in Russian. Are you ready? Okay. Park, motor, metro, taxi, and radio. Perfect. Good job. Good job. Good job. We're also going to learn, why not, 5 words in German as well. Are you ready? Okay. Man, banana, rice, perfect, and hello. Good job. Good job. Good job. Very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. You did a very good job. Coffee. Why orange? Why do I wear orange all the time? I do. Why do I only buy orange shirts? It's a good question. What's your favorite colors? What are your favorite colors? Put it in the chat room. I'd love to know. I love how you're like, why tell us? Judith, I love it. It started. I originally loved hot pink. That was my favorite color for a long time. It's now my second favorite color. Orange started kind of creeping in around the turn of the century. Trying to think if it was the 1900s or the 2000s. I think it was the 2000s. It started to turn, and I started finding myself wearing a bit more orange, just liking it a bit more. But it wasn't still an everyday occurrence. I had orange pants. I had orange shirts. I didn't wear them all the time, but more often than not, I was starting to wear them. What happened is that I was in a band called Wasted Days, and we had our debut show on September 1st, 2007. And I just ended up wearing an orange shirt because by this time, 7 out of 10 times I was wearing orange. So I wore it. And after we got off the stage, because the stage was kind of dark, some of the people came up to me and said, some of the fans and the friends were like, wow, you know what? I couldn't really see the other band members too well, but that orange stood out. And they're like, you need to wear orange all the time on stage now. And I said, I can do that. I can dedicate myself to that. That's a commitment I am not afraid of. And so that's what I did. And then some of the fans at some points would start showing up wearing orange too, and being like, "Hey, we're wearing orange because of you." And it's very nice, very nice. That's why orange. Plus, I love Halloween, so it really fits in well with the theme of everything. I want to say, can we give it up for Ruthie Thompson? Ruthie Thompson, can we give it up for her? She was an animator, among many other things, for Disney. And she died last month. But she lived through 2 pandemics. 2 pandemics! Ruthie Thompson! How old was she when she died? I'll tell you. 111. 111. I hope to live to 111, or at least 120. I'm also not good at math. Speaking of defying the odds, can we talk about Arthur Priest? I'm sure you know Arthur Priest. Everyone knows Arthur Priest. He was known as the Unsinkable Stoker. Yeah, good old RDP. Exactly. That's him. RDP. The Unsinkable Stoker. He retired from being a stoker. He was one of many men on steam-powered ships. Between 1907 and 1917, he survived 5 sinking ships and a collision. Yes. He was also on the Titanic as well. What? It's not pronounced Titanic? Titanic? Oh. He was also on the Titanic as well. Yes. Arthur Priest, the unsinkable stoker. Are you guys having fun? Any more questions? Any more questions? Okay. I'm just so like, I have to pry myself away for a bathroom break. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Hey, speaking about okay, where does that even come from? Okay. We say it all the time. We know what it means. Okay. But we've never really questioned the origin of where it came from. Huh. Oklahoma? Oklahoma could be it. Could be it. However, it was invented before Oklahoma became a state. It came from Martin Van Buren. He was our 8th president. When he was campaigning for the presidency, he was from Kinderhook, New York. He was also one of the first, he was the first president that was not from like a United Kingdom ancestry. He was Dutch, and he spoke Dutch at home. So I'm sure that he probably had an accent as well. So when he was campaigning, his nickname was Old Kinderhook because of coming from Kinderhook. And so they modified it and they said Van Buren is okay. And that's how it stuck. During his presidency, 1840, you could buy a really good pine casket for $4. You know, blankets are included. You know, if you wanted kind of a cheaper pine casket, $2. It'll cost you $2. Blankets are still included. Don't worry. Let me tell you. Oh, wait. Hi, Jason. Check. Let me tell you about Martin Van Buren's wife, Hannah. When he wrote his autobiography, he didn't mention her. So I can't tell you much about his wife, Hannah. I'm sorry. That was a letdown, wasn't it? I was like, wait till you hear about Hannah. And I'm like, I don't know anything about her. No. Good job, Martin. Good job. Didn't mention her at all. Poor lady. So we still don't know much about her. Presidential history. I love presidential history. Yeah, he didn't mention his wife. No. Presidential history. I love presidential history. I got into presidential history when I was about 7.5, because there was a thing in the newspaper. I think it was the Sunday papers, and it was called the mini page, and it was for kids. And so it kind of kept you up to date on what was happening in the world in a very kid-friendly way, as well as talking about like past stuff. So in one of the mini pages, there was it had to do about presidents. And it had all the pictures of the presidents and their names. And I was like, who is this? I kind of knew a little bit about presidents, a little bit, but I didn't know there was that many. And I was looking at it. And that's what started my the answer to the hairproof question. I don't know what that hairproof question is. Did I miss it? Did I miss the hairproof question? Can someone put that back up there again, please? Here, let me put this. Question. Oh, do you poof your hair? Oh, that's funny. I didn't get that. No, I'm a Gemini. We have naturally poofy hair. If you look at Bob Dylan, if you look at Gene Wilder, if you look at like Lenny Kravitz after he cut off all of his dreads, we have naturally poofy hair. That's how you can tell the Gemini for the most part. That guy, the lead singer for the Killers, have you checked out how poofy his hair is? That's what we do. It is the Gemini effect. Yeah. Like, I don't think I can, like, even, like, it just poops up. That's how it is. Yeah. Geminis. Keep an eye out for Geminis because of the poofy hair. It's a fact. But anyway, with the president. So, really got into presidential history by the time I was 8. I had learned all the presidents. Let's see. Please tell the story about the president who got stuck in the bathtub. Taft, William Howard Taft. Oh my God, I love Taft. Taft always looked like he was that he was just always so overjoyed when posing with people in pictures. Um, he was 6 foot. He weighed between 300 and 350 pounds. One of the reasons for that is because he loves spiced cherries. He used 7 pounds red cherries, 4 pounds of sugar, and some other ingredients. And it was called spiced cherries, and he loved those. Taft never wanted to be president. He wanted to be Chief Justice. His wife, Helen Taft, visited the White House when she was younger, and she was dead set on being a first lady, no matter the cost. This is a good lesson now for y'all. She married Taft, and she pestered him into being president. He didn't want to. He wanted to be Chief Justice. Let the guy be Chief Justice. Come on. So finally gets in the White House. And she's like, yes, I'm a first lady. I get to do all the first lady things. I get to entertain and do all this. She was a Gemini. She loves entertaining. She loves doing these things, right? Okay, everything's great. They're not in the White House that long. I think it was maybe a couple months. She has a stroke. She has a stroke. She can't do the White House first lady duties. And I think maybe if she hadn't pushed her husband so hard to do something that he didn't want to do. Just saying, man. Karma, man. Just saying. So, yeah, that's what happened. But the great thing is that after he was president, he became Chief Justice. And there's a picture floating around of him as Chief Justice, the current president, Warren Harding, and Abraham Lincoln's son, Robert Lincoln. He has a very, very interesting life, but we'll get into that later. How did he get stuck in the? He was a big guy, like I said, 6 foot, 300 to 350 pounds. He got himself stuck in a bathtub, so he ordered a special bathtub that could fit 4 men. There's a picture of that bathtub with 4 men hanging out in the bathtub. That's how, he just got stuck because he was big. He was very girthy, that one. Very, very girthy. Yes, Taft. I love Taft. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, Judith. Now, here's something fun. I don't know if you want to do this. I think I can still do it. And I'm going to put my paws up here, so I'm not like Googling or cheating or anything like that. But if you want to put in a name of a president in the chat room, I bet I can tell you their zodiac sign. So feel free to do that. Let's see. But telling, I love that story. Absolutely. I will always tell that story. That's a good one. Yeah. We got some noise out there. Oh, let me shut that. Oh, there we go. But yeah, so feel free to put a name of a president in the chat, and I will let you know what their zodiac sign is. I got my paws up here. Paws up. Yes. So, I'm not Googling anything. I'm not, come on, Google search, get this, thing for me or anything like that. But while you're doing that, while you're putting that in, I got to say, my favorite president is William McKinley. That is my favorite. Johnson. Oh, that's a good one. Are we talking about the Capricorn or the Virgo Johnson? We have 2 different Johnsons, so I'm not quite sure which one you are talking about. But Andrew Johnson was a Capricorn, and then Lyndon Johnson was a Virgo. So let me know which one you are talking about. But I think I already answered that for both of them, huh? But yes, feel free to put that in the chat room. We were just talking about Taft. Taft is he's a Virgo, and like I mentioned, his wife being a Gemini. My favorite president, William McKinley, happens to be an Aquarius. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. We're actually almost, we got 15 more minutes left. That's crazy. When did that happen? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't know if any more are going to be rolling in. You might be looking up some signs and stuff like that, which is F. Oh, Lyndon B. Yes, he was the Virgo. He was the Virgo. Yes, yeah. And Andrew Johnson was the Capricorn. So was Lincoln. So was yes. They're both Aquarius. Yeah, very good. So was William Henry Harrison. He was also an Aquarius. Most of you might. Washington was a Pisces. Yes, most of you might know William Henry Harrison as the president that was in for 1 month. 1 month, and he died. Caught pneumonia. He was a 68-year-old man giving an inaugural speech for, I think it was like an hour and 40 minutes in like the snow and the rain and cold. And people were offering him his coats and hats. And he was like, no, I'm good. You know, caught pneumonia, died. Oh, well. His grandson, though, became president, Benjamin Harrison, who's a Leo. Let's see. How many father and sons have been president? Oh, that's a good one. Okay, well, let me see here. We got John Adams, who's a Scorpio, and his son John Quincy Adams, who was a Cancer the Crab. Um, his middle name is Quincy because he was born in Quincy, Massachusetts, but that was after the name change. Before that, it was called Braintree, Massachusetts. So his name could have been John Braintree Adams. Yes, but no, it wasn't. He was saved. It was John Quincy Adams. Let's see, fathers and sons. We had the Bushes, George Bush Sr., who was a Gemini, and then the other George Bush, that was a Cancer the Crab. Has it only been two? Because the Harrisons were grandfather and grandson. I might go for two right off there. Let's see if you're enjoying this. Oh yes, we do. Yes, we do have a tip jar. Oh, there you go. Yeah, we do have a tip jar. I love money. I'm a huge fan of money. I really am. Money makes me happy. So if you want to send me money, I will accept it. I will not send it back. If you're not sure if the payment of $50 went through, try 3 or 4 more times just to make sure. Love money. There we go. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, you can do the PayPal or you can do Venmo. I got Venmo too. At Vufcup. VUFCUP. Okay. So, yep. There we go. Thank you, Rory. Really do appreciate that. Let's talk about. I got some info up here. Another hydration checkpoint. I got some info. So I'll be reading this from the screen. Jeff Baxter, right? Jeff Baxter was from Steely Dan, and he was also from the Doobie Brothers. And so, he's a rock person. He's a rock guitarist and everything like that. So they think, okay, yeah, Jeff Baxter. Well, let's really talk about Jeff Baxter. He has a hidden life. I don't know if you guys know about this. In 1995, he was nominated to the Civilian Advisory Board of Ballistic Missile Defense chair, which led to consulting contracts with the Pentagon's Missile Defense Agency and National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Yes. He consults for the U.S. Department of Defense and the U.S. intelligence community, as well as defense-oriented manufacturers such as Science Applications International Corporation, Northrop Grumman Corporation, General Dynamics, and General Atomics Aeronautical Systems Incorporated. Jeff Baxter he's appeared in public debates as a guest on CNN and Fox News, advocating missile defense. He served as a national spokesman for Americans for Missile Defense, a coalition of organizations devoted to the issue. In 2005, he joined the NASA Exploration Systems Advisory Committee. Jeff Baxter was a member of an independent study group that produced the Civil Applications Committee Blue Ribbon Study, recommending an increased domestic role for U.S. spy satellites in 2005. Jeff Baxter, also known as just the guitarist for Steely Dan and the Doobie Brothers. Just saying. I have another interesting person up here. Who loves The Offspring? I'm talking about from the 90s. I'm not talking about the last 2 decades. I'm talking about when they were punk. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff's a busy guy. Yeah, Offspring. The lead singer, Dexter Holland, has some very interesting information that I want to share with you as well. I'm going to be reading that from the screen too. So Dexter Holland, the lead singer for Offspring, obviously he's got songs like "Pretty Fly for a White Guy," "Keep 'Em Separated," bunch of hits. He has a PhD in molecular biology. He's also a licensed pilot. He has his own brand of hot sauce, which has sold over 1 million bottles and is now available in over 500 restaurants and 7,000 stores, including being a top-ranked hot sauce on Amazon. It's called Gringo Bandito. And let me tell you, I've had the red one, I've had the green one. Both are good. Very, very good. I'm typically more, in general, for green sauce over red sauce. What about you guys? Let me know. Dexter Holland was also the co-founder of the record label Nitro Records, which he operated from 1994 to 2013. He was the co-founder with Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys of FSU Foundation, which raised funds through charity concerts. The foundation did benefit shows to raise money for various charities, including AIDS Project Los Angeles, the Poor People's United Fund, Trees Foundation, and Amnesty International. Dexter Holland from The Offspring also participated in the 2006 and 2008 Los Angeles Marathon. His charity of choice was the Innocence Project, a non-profit legal clinic that handles legal cases where post-conviction DNA testing of evidence can yield conclusive proof of innocence. Yeah. Dexter Holland, also known as, just the lead singer for The Offspring. Okay, you know what? We're almost to the 4:55 mark, okay? I said that we're going to talk a little bit about sleep. So we're going to get into the sleep portion right now. How do you get to the hypnotic stage? Because the subconscious is 88% and the conscious mind is only 12%. The subconscious hates the unknown. That's why we can be like, man, I really want to change my lifestyle. I know eating this big piece of cake is not healthy. Subconscious goes, it's not healthy, but I know how it feels. I know it's unhealthy. I know it's going to make you feel bad, and that's all that matters. The first 30 minutes before you go to sleep and the first 30 minutes when you wake up, you are naturally in the hypnotic stage, which gives access to the subconscious. There are 3 stages of dreaming, by the way. The first stage is wishful thinking, and it kind of sorts through the day. The second one is precognitive, which kind of tries to see into the future a little bit. And then the last one is venting. And that's where, that can be where a lot of anger comes from, but also it just vents out the things you don't need. We walk down the street, we naturally take in all this information that we don't need, right? This is that color. The grass is that high. The fence is painted this color. This is that. The sidewalk has a crack. Well, do we need that information? No, we don't. We vent it out in the third stage of dreaming. That's why getting the proper amount of sleep is very important because of the fact that you have to go through those 3 cycles of dreaming. If you don't get enough sleep the one day and say you don't get to the venting stage, then the next night you pick up where you left off plus the last 24 hours. So it's more work that way. However, if all of a sudden you find yourself with a job where you're not getting as much sleep as you used to, maybe you used to get 8 hours, now you only get 6. After about 2 weeks, the body adjusts and goes, okay, we have 6 hours to do all of the dream stages that we need to do. I am versus I feel. Okay, keeping an eye on the time here. I am versus how I feel. Now, this is really good because of the fact that for me, I would say like I am a happy person. I am a social person. That's what I am. If I'm having a bad day or a sad day, I wouldn't say I am sad right now because I'm not sad. That's not what I am. I would say I feel sad. So it kind of takes it out of your DNA. So you don't become the person of those negative feelings. That way you can kind of separate it and be like, I am this, I am that. Or I feel this. I feel anxious right now. Am I an anxious person? I'm not. But maybe I feel anxious. So I would say I feel as opposed to I am. Yes, indeed. It is 4:55. Rory, did you want to come on?
Does anyone have any additional questions for Diggy Kat? Because we have a minute. We have actually 5 of them.
I'll put the chat back
Hi.
on.
By the way,
Hello.
you might have noticed that I got fancier. This is courtesy of the Purple Vision Mistress, Judith Wyman, over here, provided me with some Purple Mystery. I have been applying the Purple Mystery during your lesson, Diggy Kat.
Yes.
Oh, I love this question. When is he on next? Like, you have been accidentally a monthly guest on Monday Night Muses. Maybe we should formalize this and just do like Ask Diggy Kat everything. Cause honestly, like I don't want to play now. I just want to listen to you. I just want to like enjoy this party. So you tell me, Diggy Kat, when do you want to come back?
Hey,
No
you let me know when
pressure.
there's an opening. You let me know when there's an
I
opening, and I'll
will.
be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
have. Oh, go ahead. Tell me.
oh, I was just gonna say, and if we're gonna be doing this for the next time, whenever that may be, if you have questions in advance that you want to think about, and then we can talk about those.
I like that. Yeah, we can collect. Ooh, we can
Yeah.
collect questions for Diggy Kat. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Do your cats have a favorite president?
Ooh, the younger ones don't know yet. They're still too young. They're still kittens. Nash. So Nash is a big boy. He's roughly about 20 pounds, but he's part Maine Coon, part Turkish Van, and he's chonky. And so sometimes when he's passing through, I'll be like, "Hey Taft, what's up, William Howard?" So just say it.
I like it. So valid. I like how Nash is either Nash or Taft. Like I like how he has 2 namesakes.
Yeah, he does.
Yay,
Yeah.
chunky man.
Yeah, he's a chunky man. Yeah, he is.
Other question is, are your cats still around and can we see them?
I was actually just looking. Wait, let me take off the chat. Hey, you guys are asking to be seen. Come here, Pinkle. Oh, this is Danko.
Yes.
That's Danko.
What a sweetie pie.
I
Little orange
know.
friend. Hello.
Count.
This is what makes the chat. Obviously, what we need is like kitty cat hour.
This is Towns.
Towns.
Hi, Towns. He goes, "Let me down, Pop. I'm not doing it."
He's
I
like,
was
no.
drinking water.
He's like, I'm
I don't know
Tansman.
where
Nope, now.
Resner is. Yeah, I don't know where Resner is, and Nash is asleep.
That's fair. I don't want to wake up Nash. He needs his rest.
Or
He
we
needs
could
to get
say,
into his 3 sleep stages.
yes. Or we could just say that he's stuck in a bathtub.
And both could be true.
Yeah, I think both are true.
Cool.
Well, excellent.
Wakey.
Wakey. Rory, thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it. And I had a great time here. And I want to also thank everyone in the chat room as well. You've all been engaging and lovely.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Vuffcup at Venmo, at Vuffcup on Venmo, and Lucky Star Radio at gmail.com on PayPal if you would like to throw some love into Diggy Kat's virtual tip jar. Diggy Kat just literally gave you like a music history course, like taught you some Russian and some German without like being an annoying owl about it. Not that I'm calling any apps out. Like told you the life story of his cats and several presidents. I really feel like he deserves your dollars. So please feel free to do that. I'll pop that into the chat for you all. And yeah, right, like visual aids. And when I tell you, like, this was a last minute thing, I made a mistake. It was on me. I thought I had booked someone for this week, and I had booked them instead for the first week in December. Oops. Yep. And Diggy Kat was like, "Yeah, I could come be a guest." And I'm just so happy that every time you come on, I don't know what to expect. And I know that you said when we were in our, like sound check thing that you were a little out of your comfort zone today. And I'm so glad you went out of your comfort zone. I need Diggy Kat hour in my life. Like, can we just have Diggy Kat hour? Can you make a podcast? Can you do it? Everybody, I just put Diggy Kat's virtual tip information in there. Please support this feline individual. He has a plethora of radio shows. He's part of the Stream Team. He runs a Stream Team festival several times a year. He teaches you history. He has cats. Obviously a person worthy of your attention and time. And honestly, like, single-handedly supports so many different musicians and supports the scenes, and is holding up like a weird cat-flavored hot dog at us right now. What is that? Is that a pillow? I don't even know, but it's great. And dresses in orange, bringing more orange into your life.
This was made by Beyonce for me. It's a cat pillow.
Oh my gosh, Beyonce's cat pillow.
Yeah, this is actually our mascot for Buff Cup.
That's amazing.
It goes on the stage with us.
Follow Buff Cup in all the places. VUFCUP. Follow Lucky Star Radio. You can find them on the Facebook. You can listen to Diggy Kat all the time. He's got like 1 billion radio shows. He's a very busy cat. Fewer and fewer cat naps because Diggy Kat's out there supporting. Everyone, I will be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to end this stream and start my stream. Diggy Kat, thank you so much. You're the best.
Thank you. You are too. Thank you all.